There's a reason many men feel drained, lost, and hollow after chasing pleasure. They think they are winning the game of desire, yet deep inside they are being consumed by it. The truth is not mystical for the sake of mystery. It is practical, psychological, and deeply spiritual. Today, we are going to talk about something most men never realize until it is too late. The destructive dance between the uninitiated man and the dark feminine. Before we go further, make sure you join the Telegram channel. The link is in the description. That is where deeper discussions, hidden insights, and real-life practices are shared away from the noise. Now, let's begin with the uncomfortable truth. An uninitiated man is not necessarily weak in the traditional sense. He can lift weights, earn money, even lead people. Yet he lacks something ancient and essential: initiation. In older cultures, initiation was the bridge between boyhood and manhood. A young man was stripped of comfort, tested by fear, and faced with death in symbolic or real form. He emerged not as a boy who wanted things from the world, but as a man who could stand in front of chaos and not flinch. Modern society has removed that bridge. There are no rites of passage anymore. No moment when a man learns that pleasure is not freedom, that lust is not love, and that power without control is self. The result is a generation of men who chase stimulation instead of mastery, and in that chase, they meet the dark feminine. The dark feminine is not evil. It is not a villain to hate. It is the primal, raw, magnetic force of chaos that exists within women and within nature itself. It is the ocean that tests the strength of your boat, the storm that asks whether your foundation is real or an illusion. It is Kali and Lilith, seductive and destructive at once. If you are uninitiated, you get swallowed by it. If you are disciplined, you ride its waves and grow stronger. Semen retention is one of the oldest tools to develop that discipline. But people misunderstand it. It is not just about holding back physical release. It is about conserving energy that fuels clarity, willpower, and spiritual depth. When you constantly release, you train your body to chase short-term highs. Your nervous system gets addicted to immediate reward. You drain your essence before it matures into purpose. When you practice retention, the same energy that once went downward begins to rise upward. It sharpens your focus. It gives weight to your words. It changes how women perceive you because it changes the frequency you emit. You move from a state of needing to a state of embodying. You no longer seek validation from the feminine. You magnetize it. But here is where many men fail. They try retention for a few weeks, feel a little stronger, and then think they have ascended. Yet when they meet a woman who embodies the dark feminine, everything collapses. Their mind is hijacked by lust. Their heart becomes restless. Their power dissolves. Why? Because retention without initiation is fragile. Initiation requires more than physical discipline. It requires confrontation with the shadow. Every man carries inner chaos, old wounds, hidden fears, and unresolved desires. If you suppress them, the dark feminine will mirror them right back at you. She becomes the embodiment of your own chaos. That is why you attract women who drain you or control you. They are the mirror of the energy you refuse to master within yourself. The uninitiated man seeks the feminine for comfort. The initiated man meets the feminine as a dance of creation and destruction. The uninitiated man collapses in her storm. The initiated man studies himself and channels her energy into his mission. The difference is internal power, not dominance, not manipulation, but grounded presence. The ability to feel lust without being owned by it, to desire without desperation, to connect deeply without losing self. If you look at mythology, the dark feminine appears again and again as a test. Odysseus meets Circe. Samson meets Delilah. Each time, the man must decide whether he will stay conscious or surrender his soul for pleasure. The lesson is always the same. Without inner initiation, the feminine devours you. With initiation, she awakens you. Retention is the foundation, but initiation is the structure built upon it. You retain so that energy can build inside you, but you must then face your demons, transmute them, and convert that energy into purpose. The energy that once chased women must now chase mastery, art, strength, and spiritual growth. When you do this, the feminine no longer destroys you. She refines you. She senses your containment, your silence, your unshakable calm. The same energy that once made you a slave to lust now becomes the light that attracts everything meant for you. Now, a small reminder. If you are gaining from this message, consider using the thanks button below. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps keep this work alive and allows these deeper truths to reach more men who need them. Let's continue. The reason the dark feminine feels so overwhelming is that she does not speak in logic. She speaks in energy. You cannot outthink her. You can only outcenter her. The moment you lose grounding, she pulls you into her chaos. The moment you stay conscious, she transforms that chaos into growth. This is why men who live only through intellect fail in love. They try to rationalize emotions that are meant to be felt. The feminine is not something you control. It is something you align with. But you can only align when you have sovereignty over your own inner world. Retention strengthens that sovereignty. It gives you the pause between impulse and action. It teaches you to feel intense energy without spilling it. And that pause is the birthplace of mastery. You start to notice how sexual energy is not separate from creative energy. The same drive that once pushed you toward lust can now build businesses, write books, compose music, or transform your body. Every man who learns this becomes magnetic not because he seeks, but because he radiates. Yet, let's be clear. Retention is not repression. Repression is fear disguised as discipline. When you suppress your desires, they rot inside and control you from the shadows. Retention, on the other hand, is awareness. You feel the desire fully, breathe through it, and let it strengthen your control rather than weaken it. That is initiation in real time. The uninitiated man fears his own power because he has never learned to hold it. He seeks release, not for pleasure, but to escape himself. That is why he keeps repeating cycles of attraction and regret. The dark feminine senses his weakness and unconsciously exposes it. She becomes the teacher he resents, but desperately needs. In truth, the feminine is always teaching. Every woman you meet is a mirror showing you your current level of consciousness. The dark feminine teaches through chaos. The light feminine teaches through nurturing. Both are sacred. Both are part of your evolution. You cannot love one and hate the other without staying incomplete. To be a complete man is to understand both. To worship the light without fearing the dark. To hold presence when storms rise. To meet intensity with awareness instead of reaction. When you achieve this state, the dark feminine becomes your ally. She no longer destroys you because you no longer resist her lessons. You begin to understand her language. You start to see how every test is designed to strengthen your center. This is why the ancient mystics said that woman is the gate to heaven and hell. It depends on the consciousness of the man who approaches her. Without initiation, the gate becomes a trap. With initiation, it becomes transcendence. So, how do you begin initiation? Start where you are. Retain for a period. Notice the patterns that arise. Notice your triggers, your cravings, your habits. Sit in the discomfort. Face your restlessness. Let it reveal what you have been avoiding. That is the first step of initiation confrontation. Then channel that energy into structure. Wake early. Train your body. Read deeply. Build something meaningful. The masculine grows through challenge and structure. The more structure you build, the more power you can safely hold. And when you next encounter the dark feminine, do not run. Stay. Feel. Listen. Watch how your body reacts. Watch how your mind panics. That moment is initiation happening in real time. You are being tested, not by her, but by life itself. Pass the test not by overpowering her, but by remaining present. The storm cannot destroy what is rooted. Remember, the goal is not to suppress the feminine, but to integrate her. She is the chaos that keeps you evolving. She is the darkness that forces you to find your own light. Without her, you would remain half alive. So, do not curse the dark feminine when she appears. Honor her as the catalyst for your initiation. She will destroy the boy in you so the man can emerge. And if you are walking this path, you will need community. Men walking the same journey, sharing insights and growth. That is what the Telegram channel is for. Join it. Do not walk alone. Growth shared is growth amplified. The modern world has turned sexuality into a game of consumption. It has forgotten that sex is sacred energy. When used unconsciously, it destroys. When mastered, it creates. Semen retention is not about superstition. It is about respecting the potency of your own life force. Your seed is not just physical fluid. It is concentrated, creative potential. When you waste it constantly, you weaken your body, cloud your mind, and numb your spirit. When you hold it and refine it, you awaken something primal, something ancient. You remember who you were meant to be. The uninitiated man gives away his seed for validation. The initiated man guards it like sacred gold and invests it into creation. That is what separates consumers from creators. The journey is not easy. You will fall. You will relapse. You will face the temptation of pleasure dressed as love. But every time you rise again, you become stronger. Every time you master a wave, the ocean respects you more. So keep walking. Retain, reflect, and rise. Let the dark feminine test you, but not break you. Learn from her. Transmute her chaos into clarity. And remember, you are not supposed to escape desire. You are supposed to understand it so deeply that it loses control over you. If this message has resonated with you and helped you see something clearer, consider contributing through the thanks button below. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps keep this space alive and allows this message to reach those who need it most. You are not here to be destroyed by the dark feminine. You are here to be initiated by her. Without initiation, you drown in her depths. With initiation, you rise from them reborn. Master your energy. Guard your seed. Face your shadow. Respect the feminine. And walk as a man who has been initiated by fire, not destroyed by it. Because in the end, it is not about retention alone. It is about transformation. The true power is not in holding back. It is in becoming the kind of man who no longer needs to.